Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thundertron podcast. So today we're actually going to be discussing a reveal of Power Transformers Tuesday. It's the Transformers Beast Wars Rhinox and Predacon Scorponok 2-pack. So there was actually a pack previous before this. It was actually Optimus Primal and Megatron using their same Kingdom molds. I think there was just some new paint apps, and I think Megatron might have had a variant head sculpt, but I think that's pretty much it. Of course, accessory-wise, the exact same thing. I'll probably do a separate segment on those figures or that pack coming very soon on the podcast or on the channel, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But of course, we're going to be talking about Rhinox and Scorponok today. So of course, the basic information, the price is $70. The release date is December 30th, 2023, and you actually have to order this by May 12th because this is kind of an exclusive pack between Hasbro Pulse and Takara Tomy. So if you want this, order it now because there is a very limited window for buying this. So price, it is actually overpriced. I guess you're probably paying for the, added paint apps and details, but of course, mold-wise, these two figures are the exact same thing as their Kingdom releases, so there's no new accessories, no new molding, anything like that, and technically this set should be $60 if you do the math, because of course you're getting one Voyager, which is $35, and of course one Deluxe, which is $25. That equals about $60, and this is $70, of course, not including shipping and tax. So I think this is a bit overpriced in my opinion. Again, some people could say, oh, there's some added paint apps, kind of like a premium finish figure, which I guess is understandable, but in my opinion, I don't think it should be that much more. Maybe at the most like $65 if you want to justify, of course, some added paint apps like that. But my thoughts, I actually think it looks pretty cool. So let's start off with Rhinox. To be fair, I've never really been a big fan of the Kingdom Rhinox mold. I do have the figure, I reviewed it. It's okay. I have to say I was a bit let down because, we got all the other Maximals, like I think Kingdom Optimus Primal, Kingdom Black Arachnia, Waspinator, Air Razor, all the figures were really, really good. I think probably the weakest one of them all was Rhinox. The transformation is an absolute nightmare, and the robot mode, the joints are super loose, and the articulation wasn't that great. So overall, a kind of a letdown of a figure. I do hope maybe we get another version of Beast Wars Rhinox pretty soon. Maybe in the Legacy Evolution line, or maybe we'll get another repaint or remold of the Kingdom one. I think that'd be pretty nice to see. Hopefully with this one, the joints are tighter, because for some reason on my copy, they were so loose out of the box. But of course, pretty much the exact same thing as the Kingdom release, just of course some added paint apps. I do like the kind of brownish gold, almost bronze color they use for the forearms, the shoulders, the front of the legs. All looks super, super cool. Head sculpt wise, I can't tell because of course the images can't really get that close to the head sculpt. I think from what I can see, the head sculpt is the same again, just some added new paint apps. But I do like it. It looks really, really shiny, really reflective. This kind of reminds me of the premium finish line. They released several figures from Studio Series and Siege and other figures like that. This isn't technically a part premium finish, but that's pretty much what it is. And of course, moving on to of his next mode, which of course is his Rhino mode. I actually really had no problems with the Kingdom Rhinox's Rhino mode. I thought it was fine, of course. It was a bit blocky and boxy, kind of a solid brick at times, but I did like the details. Interesting enough here, I do think they actually added some details where the eyes are concerned. I'm pretty sure on the Kingdom release, they were actually just kind of a solid color. There was no pupil, but of course there's actually some added details here, which is pretty nice to see. I do like the huge tusks. They look pretty much like a bone or like a spike. It looks very realistic and cool. And again, I really like that texturing effect. They took that, of course, straight from Kingdom. And that, of course, detail was also in the previous version. And again, I do like that kind of bronze gold color they used. As for accessories, he does include those machine guns that we were, saw before. No mold changes or anything like that. I actually did quite like those accessories. People were bummed out that there was no spinning feature, because I'm pretty sure on his, I think it was Thrilling 30 release in Generations, that did have a spinning feature like in the show, which I never actually had that figure, so I really wasn't bummed or anything about this figure not having it. And you can store it in the exact same way, so of course you can actually combine them to store in the Rhino mode. You can also store them in his hands in the robot mode, and on the back in the robot mode as well, which I think is a pretty cool feature. That's pretty much it for Rhinox. So of course, moving on to Scorponok, I have to say probably if I were to get this pack, this would probably be the #1 reason, because I do like the new paint apps on Rhinox, but Scorponok actually I really liked. I thought he was a very good mold, very good figure. He turned out really, really well. I have heard people complain that the size of Scorponok was off. I think people said he should have been a Voyager or maybe even a Leader. If I actually heard both, I think he was fine as a Deluxe because he was a bit smaller in the show. That's just how I perceive it. I don't know, but yeah, mold wise, I thought he was really good. good. Definitely a much better figure than Rhinox. So of course, accessory-wise, he does come with the Cyber Bee and the Missile Pod. I always said anytime they made, because there's actually several different versions or repaints of this mold, I always thought he should have come with 2 Missile Pods. So of course, you could actually have one in each claw, but unfortunately, he only came with one. But same accessories they can store on the claw. Of course, you can actually remove them from the claw if you want to recreate the scenes like they're firing out of them, which I always thought was pretty cool. And on this version, he actually has some maximal, or maybe it might be Predacon symbols on the missiles. It's actually I'm pretty sure there was an alternate version of Scorponok. It might have been in like a Buzzworthy Bumblebee pack, I can't remember. That one actually had some details on it, but I'm pretty sure the original solo release, of course, the mainline release didn't have those little details on the missiles. So it's pretty cool to say they actually put those there. Now, and the Cyber Bee seems to be the same mold as before. Of course, some new paint apps, like some yellow and red. I think there's some gunmetal gray now. Hand sculpt is the same. I actually really just like the gunmetal gray on the main body. Really nice purple for the claws and the shoulders, and the forearms just looking amazing. And of course, you can actually display, if you don't know, you can display the stinger and the insect legs, or the scorpion leg, several different ways. In this version here you see now, probably there's an image up on your screen right now. You can actually have them a bit more collapsed, or of course you can actually have them more spread out. So there's some pretty nice features there. And moving on to his scorpion mode, again, I really never had any problems with this figure. I can't remember what I said exactly in my review. It's been a while, but I thought it was a pretty good figure. I still, to this day, I think it's a really good figure. I guess probably my only complaint I would think of right now is maybe it would have been nice if there was some more articulation in the scorpion mode insect legs, because there's just a small ball joint. It would have been nice if there was like a hinge or a flap or something just to get some more dynamic poses, but I think that's pretty much it complaint-wise. Joints were tight, articulation was good, no problems there. And I think the Scorpion mode looks super cool. Of course, there's that really nice rough texturing, really nice silver added paint apps. Definitely a very premium finish style with this figure. But that's pretty much it for my thoughts, of course. I don't know if I'll be picking up this pack. I wouldn't say I have like a need to, because there's definitely more figures to come from Legacy Evolution, and I'm actually probably going to be collecting all of these Stu Series Gamer Editions, so I think I already have enough figures to buy right now as it is. So probably, if I were to say if I'm going to get this, I would say no. I might get the Optimus Primal and the Megatron pack just because those are 2 very iconic figures, and their details look really good. Also, there's a brand new head sculpt for Megatron, so that's definitely a plus there. There's actually a mold change. It would have been nice maybe if there was like some mold changes with this pack here, or some new accessories. I'm not sure specifically what, but it would have been nice if they took some, more creative, licensing, or had a bit more accessories or something like that. Because do keep in mind, this is $10 more than it really should be. Again, as I said at the beginning of the segment, some people could say, oh, it's worth it because there's new paint apps. It seems very premium finish, like very, fancy, and premium, which of course that's kind of a matter of opinion. Some people could say, oh, it shouldn't be $10 extra just because of paint. Some people could say it is. I don't know. I'm kind of in the mixed bag. I think probably at the most this pack, again, as I said, should have been about $65 at the most. 70 is probably a bit too much. But let me know what you think of this pack in the comment section down below. Will you be picking this up, or of course will you be picking up the other pack, the Megatron and the Optimus Primal? And maybe we'll do actually some more packs. Maybe they'll do like a Dinobot 1. If they make a Dinobot 1, I will definitely get that without a doubt. Or maybe they'll re-release like Airazor or Tigertron. Actually, that would be, if Hasbro was listening right now, that would be a perfect pack to do. Tigertron and Airazor, because they were very popular characters together. They were, I guess, kind of a couple or a duo in the show, if you could say, and they were, kind of buddies. So that would be a pretty good pack to do, an Airazor and Tigertron pack. That would be a pretty good pack. So again, let me know what you think of this pack in the comment section down below. Will you be picking this up? Do you think it's worth $70 because of that added paint apps, or are you like me and you don't think it's worth it? I do hope you enjoyed this segment, and I will see you next time.